Well, the brake tapping is in full effect already. It's going to be heaviest eastbound 24 there from 40 down to 440, all the way down to Bell Road like it usually is. We're already building northbound 65 to go eastbound on 40 downtown, and then 65 northbound up to 24 over there on the North Loop. And then up here in Sumner County, right there at the Kentucky line, I'm seeing that the on-ramp, or rather the 65 southbound off-ramp to Portland, is blocked due to a vehicle fire. That's where Channel 4 was reporting that there may have been some explosives on a semi there, and authorities are on the scene. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is 7 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7. I am Brian Wilson, your friend and radio buddy, in for, the next 4 hours. That is, if the voice holds out. I don't, one of them days where you just wake up and you're a little croaky.
Yep.
It's allergies. This is the time of year I suffer from allergies, and
which is kind of different. I don't think a lot of people have that.
Yeah, I have something happens. Well, that's probably for me. I think it's probably mold.
Yeah,
they say that when the leaves fall, there's a lot of mold, and I think that's probably it. But one way or the other, I feel fine. I just don't sound 100%. So bear with me. I'll try to get through the show here today. I think again. Good afternoon.
Ribbit.
Good afternoon. How are you? I'll be talking like this the rest of the day. Thank you for being here. No, I won't be doing that. Okay, so let's start off with Joe Biden today at the White House.
We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up.
Yeah, we should have some Chumbawamba there, I don't know why I didn't think about that, Chris.
How's that go again?
I forgot.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. Yeah. You're never going to keep me down. Remember that? Tub Thumping, I think, was the name of the album.
Yep. Yeah, I think you got
it. Can you find me the Chumbawamba?
I'm on it.
Okay. I mean, we must have some Chumbawamba, but again, from the start.
Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated.
All right. Are we ready?
We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up.
Oh, you got to be careful with the rest of this song. But anyway, I think that's great. Well, I mean, they're glum right now. The Democrats are. They're really, they're trying to figure out, how did this go wrong for us? Well, there's about a dozen places where it went wrong for Democrats. But you know what I'm seeing as I look at all of the data? The data are pretty clear on this. It is a universal shift to the right. And what I think it really comes down to it in its final analysis is Democrats got in and they just decided they were going to go full on woke and full on crazy left, and that everything that they brought forward really, be honest with you, in a whole lot of different areas that caught up with the American people, they were way left of conventional middle America political thought. They just went so far left. And when that happens, you start to irritate people, and so they start shifting right, and you look at it, it's undeniable that there was an absolute shift to the right, Every state, I think except Washington State, Trump improved dramatically over his last election effort. So there you have it. I mean, that's it, basically. In the White House today, Joe Biden came out to the Rose Garden and said there will be a peaceful transition.
Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature. I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America.
You know, Biden talked to Trump on the phone. They said, exchanged pleasantries, and Trump, as it's tradition, has been invited to the White House for discussions about the transition. So it looks like, you know, we're not going to have any games, not going to have any lawsuits. It doesn't look like any of that stuff is going to develop. And how could you when you look at the numbers? We'll get to that in a moment. Tennessee Democrat Steve Cohen is among the Democrats who are licking their wounds and seems really quite despondent about the way things are going.
We lost. And when we've lost, he's going to appoint Clarence Thomas as successor. He's going to appoint Alito's successor. He's going to have a Senate to confirm him. He'll find 35 and 40-year-old fascists who'll serve for 50 years. And this country is effed. I'm not thinking we'll keep the House. And if we don't keep the House, he has the House and the Senate both. All we can do is bitch.
Wow.
Steve Cohen, ladies and gentlemen. Congressman Cohen of Tennessee. Yeah, it's you know, I don't take any joy in watching other people, you know, cry their salty tears. But I mean, there was Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, he literally, I mean, the talk show hosts are all very leftist, every one of them. And Jimmy Kimmel was out there giving his rant. Well, I guess it was last night.
Let's be honest. It was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go. For health care.
He's just on the verge of tears.
For our climate. For science. For journalism. For justice. For free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
Well, there you go, taking his platform and going full on left on it. At the White House briefing room today, Karine Jean-Pierre was in a somber, slightly irritated mode when she was asked questions about, you know, some of the things that in the rhetoric that have come out of the Biden administration during this election process.
The president called the president-elect, invited him to the White House. You know why? Because that's customary. That is customary. That is what you do. If you respect what the American people decided,